Okay, well, if you're listening to this, that means that you've been hired to give Segway tours. The purpose of this video is that I've noticed as I've traveled the country, all my tour guides have been doing their training different ways. While I don't mind you adding your own flair of individuality to what you do, I would like to have a set way of doing the Segway tour training. That way I know that all my guests are getting at least the safety that they need. What I like to do when I do my Segway tour training is, the key is just getting everyone's attention. You gotta keep in mind everyone, when they show up, is really nervous. Also, if you have a large group of people that know each other, a lot of people will constantly be talking to each other, and you really have to set from the beginning that I'm the alpha dog, I'm the one in charge. At least for the next couple minutes, you've gotta listen to what I say. And then from there, you'll notice that I start from the bottom of the Segway and I work my way to the top. And what I'm doing there is I'm just trying to get them indoctrinated to what they're going to be doing. Also, the way I break up my tour training is I do it in two parts. I do the what to do and the what not to do. The what to do obviously being how to ride the Segway, how to safely operate it. And then the what not to do is basically just the things they need to look out for, troubleshooting tips and things of that nature. So what we're gonna do now is I'm just gonna pretend that there's people here and then give my version of a Segway tour training. When I come to the different cities and I see people giving these tour trainings, I want them to hit these exact steps in this order, okay? All right, so as you can see here, I'm just standing on the Segway right now. I'm not doing anything fancy. Basically, the Segway balances itself. There are sensors in between the wheels and the platform that are checking 100 times every second to make sure that the platform stays level. They're the same sensors that are in your smartphone that when you turn the screen sideways, it knows to flip the screen. Those sensors are called gyroscopes. You don't need to worry about them. They're doing all the work for you. The only sensors that you as a tour guest need to worry about are the sensors underneath your feet. As you can see here, there's two sensors, one in the front, one in the back, and it's like that on under both feet. So when you get up on the Segway, you want to have your hands on the handlebar and put your feet in the middle of the platform. Not all the way in the front and not all the way in the back, because you want them touching both sensors, both the front and the back. So 2 hands on, 1 foot up, and then just step up with the other foot. When you first get up, it might wobble a little bit, especially men that weigh more, we tend to make it wobble even a little bit more. But if you just don't look at your body in the Segway, just pick your eyes up, then your natural sense of self-balance will take over, and then you don't have to do any of the thinking. To move forward, all I'm doing is placing my weight onto my heels or placing my weight onto my toes, and that'll make the Segway move forward. If I put my weight on my heels, then I'm putting my weight on the back sensors, and that makes me go backwards. So toes to go forward, heels to stop, and then if I keep my weight on my heels, I'll go backwards. To stop going backwards, I place my weight onto my toes again. So lean back to go backwards, lean forward to go forwards, and then just shift your weight in between the two to stop. All right, now turning is as simple as moving this left or right. You can see it looks a little bit like a bicycle handlebar, but it doesn't turn the same way that a bicycle handlebar would, like this. This is more like a windshield wiper in that it leans to the left and to the right. So if I lean it to the right, I turn to the right. If I lean to the left, I'll turn it to the left. Now if I'm standing still, I have to physically move it to turn one way or the other. But you'll notice, as I'm moving forward, it's just keeping my hands in front of me and leaning to the left and to the right. Okay, so to review, lean forward to go forward, lean back to stop, lean right to go right, lean left to go left. Okay, now, step 2, what not to do. The biggest thing you want to watch out for is the width of your wheels. Your wheels are about as wide as your elbows would be. So what you have to watch out for are things like corners of buildings, curbs, and other Segway riders. The only time that we really have any accidents is when people just don't pay attention to where they're going and they run into stuff with their Segway. So if you don't run into stuff, you'll be all right. But that's life advice. You can take that with you beyond the Segway tour. Just don't run into things and you'll be cool. The only part of the Segway that's not really intuitive is the dismount. As you can see, just step off backwards. What you're really focusing on is not moving the lean steer frame to the left or to the right. Now that's a lot easier said than done. What happens a lot of times is when people take 1 foot off to step backwards, they'll move the handlebar to that side and then the Segway will start spinning. So we've come up with a few ways to help guard against that. When you are ready to get off the Segway, take your hands off the Segway, put the heel of your palm or the heel of your wrist on there so that you cannot grab the handlebars in any way, and then just pick one leg up like an ostrich, step back, okay? Step back, step back. If that's too tough for you, then another thing you can do is just pull up to a wall, lean it up against the wall, and just push yourself back off of it. If that seems like it's too much for you and you're still a little nervous, don't worry about it. Just call your tour guide over when it's time to stop, and he can come over and he'll grab this from you when it's time to get off. So, in review, when you're on your Segway, lean forward to go forward, lean back to stop. If you keep leaning back, you'll go backwards. Lean right to go right, lean left to go left. And again, remember, watch your wheels. That's the most important thing that you can convey to your people is you have to watch your wheels. If you don't hit anything, then you're gonna have a good time. If you run into things, you're going to have a bad time.